Little Nitro.
Stacked.
If James lost, he'd have to eat a dub.
I'm not doing that. Did you see that clip of Deion Sanders?
You don't call Nick Saban Nick. Don't call me Deion.
Let me put some respect on his name. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 21st of February, 2023. I don't think I'm quite comfortable saying that quite just yet, but it is the new year. I need to get into it because it's fixing to be March. The Ides of March are soon upon us. The man running the boards, producer James in the building, wearing his, nothing but Doctor Strange. Marvel through and through. The man and the myth and the legend and the DF dub, steadily campaigning under chandeliers. West Washington, how you feeling, sir? Is it Pig Suey? Go ahead and give me a call one time. He's on mute.
So in
I
basketball,
didn't want to hear that.
we get to talk about
Did he?
NFL history.
Man, did you do it? Did you call the Hogs? I'm just curious because James had you muted. They all starting.
Yeah, I called the Hogs.
Man,
I didn't do the full call.
I want to hear the full call.
Nah, it doesn't sound right when it's just one person, man. It's got to be hundreds and thousands of people doing it.
How about 10? Would 10 make it worth it?
I mean, it just sounds so much better when you got a lot of people doing it.
Okay.
One person, it just sounds, with my voice, it just sounds horrible.
Well, I mean, we could have a contest. It could be James could throw a grito, and then you could call the pigs, call the Hogs, rather.
Grito, what?
Man, y'all just so flat today. What is it, gentlemen? What do we need to do here?
You don't know what a grito is?
We need to have a pep squad meeting or what?
I don't know what grito is, man. You throwing me off.
We're gonna have to send you some Tejano music so you can get in line with the tunes there.
He never watched Recon Athlete podcast?
Yeah, he did.
Grito
I don't know
at
if
the
he
intro.
can identify it. There's a difference. It's one thing to hear it, and maybe another to identify it.
What?
See, look at there goes James.
Okay. That makes sense now. Yeah, yes. Sanchez did have that going.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, that noise.
Yes. So, Wes, you were teasing a little bit
Sanchez
before we were interrupting you. I do apologize. But you're talking about some NFL history here. This was an idea that you kind of brought to the table. I liked it. We were going to go ahead and run with it. But we have some new information. We want to appreciate everybody who is tuning in. Wes, let's talk a little bit. Let's not give too much away. But we'll talk a little bit of NFL history, and I'll let you tease it, and then we'll get into it a little bit later.
Oh, what we're going to do here is week to week, we're going to name our top 5 NFL players at each position. Today, we're going to do the centers. I know it doesn't sound exciting, but if you got a good center, man, you can have a good offensive line. You know, they got to make those calls at the line, and they got to get it going. You know, that's what, after Frederick went out for the Cowboys, you know, that was a big deal. You know, it hurt them big. But, we're going to go week to week, make comparisons. Hopefully, if you're listening and you're in the chat, go ahead and list your top 5. Tell us where we're wrong.
I like it.
I know everybody's not going to agree.
Mm-hmm.
I know Paul's going to think his list is going to match whatever the greats and the NFL, he feels like he's going to be it. But you don't have to listen to Paul.
Nope.
Paul ain't always right.
That's
right.
right.
It's his show.
That's right. This is as much as our show it is anybody's show, without a doubt. My biggest thing is there's going to be some contention among the list. The only list I haven't seen is James. I'm kind of curious what names are going to be on this list. You are definitely going to be recognizing names. If you're watching this show, it'll be interesting to kind of see the difference in names that are going to be brought up. But we have some pretty good names that are definitely recognizable if you are in tune with some NFL history. This is going to be a little bit of the nerdy part of the show. We're going to dive deep a little bit into that position, into the history. I mean, we're going back all the way to the 1930s with some of these names that are going to be on this list. So there's going to be contemporary names as well. It'll be fun when we get into that. But before we do, gentlemen, any big news that y'all want to kind of get off the jump? Anything that has caught your eye in the last 3 days? If you do, go ahead, just give me a shout. James, you pointed first. What's up? What's up? What's going on, man?
I watched the first episode of Full Swing last night.
All right.
So they focused on Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas.
Okay.
Whenever, I believe it was 2015 when Justin Thomas won the PGA Tour.
Okay.
Or championship. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
I
was into it. I finished it like at 12:30. I was tired. I wanted to go to bed, but I wanted to finish the episode. It was good.
So based on watching that first, that was one episode, right?
Yes.
So based off watching one episode, does this get you intrigued to possibly tune into not only the PGA Tour but also the Live Tour?
Golf in general.
Okay.
Golf in general. Yeah.
And I think you may be a little bit more of a fan, like, of some of the other parts, the other aspects of the tournaments where they could have, long ball drives. There could be, the par 3 tourney. There could be lots of different things that are a little bit different, that are not as probably traditional. But if you're into what that dynamic between Spieth and Thomas, I mean, that's going to be, those are young guns. Those are young guys.
I like the competition.
It's definitely going to be there. It's something where you kind of watch the pairings and how whoever is paired up, and see how it progresses through the week. So usually tournaments for golf begin on Thursday and they'll go through Sunday. What happens usually during football season, excluding this year because we're going to have the XFL and the USFL that's going to be coming in April, lots of times on a lazy Saturday or Sunday afternoon, you're just, sitting back with an iced tea or maybe a libation, an adult beverage here or there, and you're pretty much watching golf if there's no NBA games or basketball games that you're watching. I know Wes is probably more in tune with college basketball, pretty much tipping off about noon, going all the way, depending on what conference it is, probably late into the hours. But usually between 2 in the afternoon to about 5, you can watch a pretty good golf tournament. And now with the Live tournament coming out, there's lots of big money. The Live Tour is a little bit more of individually as well as the team dynamic. So there's teams that live, and there's also individual play. And then you can also get paid out depending on where your team ranks. So a lot more money involved, much more money involved with the Live Tour compared to the PGA. So it's fun, but I like to see that one little docuseries episode open your eyes to maybe like the PGA. Wes, what about you? Have you seen anything, or is there anything that caught your eye? It could be any sport.
No, I mean, it's been the same old thing, just enjoying college basketball as, it gets down to March Madness. Most teams only probably have 3 games left or so. And then we get into your conference tournaments, and then we get to the March Madness. So, man, I'm getting excited about that. Everything else, man, I mean, yeah, I kind of have to watch golf because when I go to my local watering hole, they already have golf on, so I gotta find like one TV by myself and watch some college basketball because, like you said, a lot of people don't start really getting into it until you get into your conference tournaments and your March Madness because there's a lot of games played. But hey. I just love watching sports, buddy.
With sports betting,
I've been in that movie you told me to watch last night.
Did you look into it at all?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Small town in Texas, you watched it?
I watched the whole thing.
We're going to talk about Polk and the sheriff when we get off the rails a little bit. It should be interesting to talk about. Little tease there. Lots of sports betting going on right now throughout the United States. Do you feel that sports betting is going to bring even more eyes to the NCAA tournament, in addition to maybe other sports that are a little bit more non-traditional, maybe like softball or baseball, some things that we probably don't see a lot more of, unless you are just like entrenched into that passion of the sport, depending on what it is. Do we think that there's going to be a larger uptick with more states coming online with sports betting as the NCAA tournament draws near, Wes?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm for sure. I mean, it was already there. Now it's legal. Mm-hmm. People are already, putting money on it or whatever you want to call it, or got their bookies. Now that might be hurting the bookies that, that they can't do it anymore, but I don't know how that works. Maybe they still can't do it. They can just do it legally now. But I mean, you're still always going to have the office pool as well too. everybody loves to do that and fill out the brackets. Usually the person that never watches basketball and just picks, for fun or for the color of a team, usually win those things. People like me never win because I overanalyze every pick.
Yeah. Why is it that how it usually kind of happens? The people who kind of spend the most time, who do overthink it, usually end up being the first ones out, or maybe you're the first one out in the second round. And, the folks who are just like, oh, I like the colors of the uniforms, you roll with them, and they just turn out to be the Cinderella of that year, right? Just kind of ironic how that happens.
Yeah. I mean, I overanalyze everything I do with sports. Or I don't pay enough attention to them. I'll pay enough attention to the right things. I mean, I don't think I looked at the waiver wire the whole time during the NFL season. But
you still made it. You still made it. Would you almost made playoffs, or you did make playoffs?
Everybody made it from the show.
And then the last 2 weeks, I don't think I set a lineup.
Shame on you.
How? I don't know.
Shame.
Well, I'm sure there's reasons for that, and we don't know what the reasons quite sure are, but maybe we'll have to vet you a little bit differently going into next year, because if you ain't setting a lineup, man, I don't know if you want to be there. Do you want to be there?
Well, the problem is, especially on game days, if I'm going to a game, I got so many things going on, I usually forget to set my lineup until the game started. Then I'm like, oh, who just scored? I wonder if I got that person on my team. Oh, no, I got him on my bench, and I can't do anything now.
Other big news in the NFL. I think this is James's favorite coach in the NFL. Old Jim Bob Cooter, formerly of the Jacksonville Jaguars, hired as the offense coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. Did Indy make the right move here? They need to get a new quarterback. I don't think Ellinger is going to be able to get it done there, but who does Indianapolis bring in as a head coach? Could this be a sign that maybe they go get a guy who's been in that system with the Jaguars, or I'm sorry, not with the Jaguars, but with Indianapolis? Like, could they circle back around and go get another guy? Like, what would you do, James? Like, who do you feel would be the best fit for Indianapolis? I mean, there's not really a whole bunch of names out there, and I doubt anybody from the XFL or USFL is going to be chomping at the bit to get there. The likely names got to be guys like AR-12. It's got to be Carr. There's no way guys like Winston or Andy Dalton are going to go up there. Jameis Winston, there's just no way. And then we don't know what's going to happen with Danny Dimes. Daniel Jones is asking for big money. Right, but they've been in that limbo ever since Andrew Luck just walked out of the season like 4 or 5 years ago for just no reason. I know it was because of health, but
exactly. But they go and get washed up quarterbacks, so they're gonna go get somebody that's not looking that good. Look at the last 2 or 3 guys they went. 3 guys they went and got. What do they got?
Who are the 3 guys?
Phillip
Carson.
Rivers. Yeah. Rivers.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
Trash.
Matt Ryan.
Trash. So who did they go get? Tom Brady?
Rosin now on the phone with Tony Romo.
Man, Tony Romo.
There he goes.
I don't know about that guy.
35 West.
I just don't know how he gets paid what he gets paid. We'll talk about Tony Romo a little bit later, but at the same time, like, what's the fit? I think Derek Carr makes sense in New Orleans, but who makes sense in New England right now? Even with Jim Bob Cooter as the new OC, I just love saying his name. Who fits there, West, in your eyes?
New England or the Colts?
The Colts.
I mean, it'd be really nice if the Colts could land Aaron Rodgers. I mean, who else can you go after that is? I mean, that a team is going to move on. I mean, if you're the Cardinals, I don't think that works for you because I just really think that old boy is too small. But I don't think he's happy in Arizona, so it might happen.
What about the backup? What about the backup right now in Arizona? What about Colt McCoy? I think he's earned a spot to get a chance at a QB1 for what he did in Arizona while Kyler's been injured. I know it's going to be hard for Arizona to get that out of their get that insurance policy away, but anytime COD drops, it's going to be QB1. It's going to be Colt McCoy.
Hey, if you're if you're a Sam Ellinger, you should want him to go get Colt McCoy. You know why? Because you're gonna be playing that season anyway.
How you think Colt's glass? You don't think he could survive the whole season?
When's the last time he's survived the whole season?
Well, he's never been a starter. Maybe in Washington for a little bit, but he didn't even finish the season.
Finished the season when he's been a backup, when he's came in mid-season.
Yeah, but they have that offensive line in Indianapolis is probably top 5 in the NFL. And if they're going to run the ball with Jonathan Taylor, that just leaves more opportunity. Plus, you got big receivers across the board for Indianapolis. You don't have to be that precise.
I don't know, man. I just don't when I see Warrior quarterbacks, it definitely ain't Colt McCoy. I don't know, man. What about what is Miami gonna do? That's a better question.
That's a good question. What's Seattle gonna do? Are they gonna re-sign Geno? Can they afford him?
I mean, who else are you gonna go after right now?
You would have to go the draft because I don't think Drew Lock is where it is.
Yeah,
Drew Lock is a fantastic backup.
You could go to the draft and still stick with Geno. I mean,
but
there's nothing wrong with having these quarterbacks sit.
That's the thing is, are they going to be able to afford Geno? That's my thing. Because if I'm Geno, I'm sitting out. I was like, unless you're bringing a new contract worth 30, 35 million, what's the point of playing? Look what's going on with Lamar right now. There's no point for Geno to play.
I mean, if he wants to play.
But if he goes and plays and gets hurt and he doesn't have a contract that's worth his value, I don't see any reason for him to be there.
What's his value though? I mean,
what did Seattle do? What did Seattle do last year with nothing? With one rookie running back, what'd they do?
I'm just saying, bro. What has he done before this season?
Not a thing.
That's a consistent thing.
But here's the thing in the NFL. It's not for what you've done for me in the past. It's what you've done for me lately. And he took them from nothing to a playoff team. They made the final cut. Don't get me wrong. They were 7th. And at the same time, LA Rams weren't there because of Stafford. But I'm telling you what, Geno goes to a team like the Colts. What does Geno do with the Colts? Well,
you bring up the Rams. What are they going to do? Maybe that's a good place for your boy out of Lake Travis to go.
Well, I think he stays. I think he stays there. But that's my thing. I think Geno should go to Indianapolis. That's just me. I think Baker stays in LA. What's that?
Do you think Stafford's done? You think you're gonna keep both Stafford and
yes.
What's his name?
Baker.
What am I? Baker.
Yeah. You think Stafford's done?
No, I think he comes back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think he'll be there as long as McVay's there. Yeah. As long as McVay stays, Stafford will stay. Until then, but I think Baker should stay in LA. I think he fits that area. Could he do damage with the Colts as long as they ran the ball? Because he's going to get to play in a controlled environment if he stays in LA or goes to New England or goes to Indianapolis. And that's the thing is you're not competing with heavy hitters in the AFC South. That's the other thing.
Yeah, if I was him, I would go to the Colts.
Yeah, you play in a controlled environment. You got a heavy run team. You got big wideouts, and you got a really good defense. As long as the offense does not put all of the pressure on top of Baker Mayfield's shoulders, Jim Bob Cooter, it makes a whole lot of sense for Baker to go to the Indy. I'm just saying. But you got to be humble about it, too, at the same time. But again, they keep having bridges. Why do the Colts keep having bridges? You got to go out and pick up somebody in either free agency that's a hot name, Aaron Rodgers, or you got to go draft them. And that's just the realness of it. I know you don't want to hear about AR-12 leaving, but something's got to give. And he's not going to go anywhere. He's not going to go anywhere in the NFC, in my opinion. I don't think.
Well, maybe who's got the first pick?
Right now, I think is it
Chicago? Ain't it?
It's either the Jaguars or it's Houston. It's one of the two.
Houston didn't get it. I thought it was Chicago.
Check it out first.
Okay.
That could be an option right there. If you're let's say if
it's
you're
not the Jaguars because they went to the playoffs.
Maybe you get Justin Fields.
Oh, you know what?
The Bears.
Is it Detroit? It's not Detroit. Oh, it was Chicago, right? Because Houston won that game, and so that gave them because they beat the.
Lovie Smith said. "Fuck
Lovey
you."
said, "Screw you guys," right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovey said, "Screw Chicago." Sorry, Carla. Anyways,
Well, he said screw you, Houston, because he knew he was on his way out.
he knew.
So he's like, you know what? We're gonna go
we're
on
gonna
and
win this
game,
game, and we're gonna sacrifice the number 1 overall pick for Houston. We're gonna give it to Chicago. Ironically, where Lovey Smith coached previously in the NFL.
Yeah.
How ironic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazing.
There you go.
Amazing
Now
how this all comes together.
You trade Justin Fields for some picks to the Colts.
Hey, you shame on you for putting that picture in the group chat today
Sorry.
with Justin Fields and DeMarcus Russell. Shame on you, sir.
Oh man, that's supposed to be private.
No, that one's okay to talk about. Shame on you. Carla loved that. Lovey Smith helped him out. Okay, let's talk about that real quick. Draft is coming up in a month and a half. Yeah, 2 months. What's going on with Chicago? Who do you think they pick overall?
I mean, like I said, you might as well trade old Fields and draft the boy out of Alabama.
Why would you want a shorter version of the same quarterback?
I mean, do you really want to pay Justin Fields?
You don't have to pay him. He's a rookie last year. Because he's a first round pick, you can pick up his 5th-year option. You got 3 more years of that guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want him for 3 more years?
Bro, what did Vic Fangio do for Chicago? Absolutely nothing.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Are you really gonna stick with the Fields experiment?
I think Justin Fields is. As soon as Justin Fields has an offensive line, I think they're going to be a dangerous team.
All right.
Look,
You say so.
do we really believe in Jared Goff in Detroit? Do we really believe in Jared Goff in Detroit? Yes or no? You tell me. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Do you
why
believe in
not?
Do you believe in Kirk Cousins in Minnesota?
I mean, yeah. Why not?
Do you believe in Jordan Love in Green Bay?
I haven't seen him play enough.
All right, that's a no. That's the best outside of
I
Aaron
haven't seen
Rodgers.
him.
Outside of Aaron Rodgers, the best quarterback in the AFC in the NFC North is Justin Fields. I'm sorry. You can sit here and fight and argue all you want. He's the best quarterback outside of Aaron Rodgers in the NFC North.
Oh,
Bro.
As of right now,
Outside of Aaron Rodgers, he's the best quarterback in
as
the
of right
NFC
now.
North. If Aaron Rodgers is there, we know Aaron's Aaron. But if Aaron Rodgers ain't there, he's the best quarterback in the NFC North. I'll fight both of y'all right now.
Goff didn't look too bad, in the second half of the season.
Jamal Williams is Detroit. And Jamal Williams started his career where, James?
Green Bay.
In Green Bay. Thank you very much. I'm just going to say it.
I don't know. You must be making your own shine or something, dude. 'Cause you done lost your damn mind.
Bro, you
Come
are
on, bro.
you are living outside of your brain, sir.
Wes, what's the name of the show, Wes?
You're living outside your brain. That's right. I'll take on all newcomers. No, I'm just kidding. Love you guys. All right, Wes, let's get into it. It's 8:03. Do you got any trivia for the people at home right now? Use that tough one that you forgot to say yesterday. Your number one.
Yeah,
Your number one question.
I know. I gotta read it again.
Don't give out the answer.
My mind don't work as good as it used to, so I forget these things.
Because your caps.
But I got the question right here. It was it ties into today's top 5.
That's right.
Male, is it?
No, that's the answer.
No, that's the question. Hold on. What's his last name though?
Hine.
Mel Hine was a center for the New York Giants for 15 seasons. He was the inaugural recipient of what award?
See, read it one more time, but call him Melvin.
Melvin Hine was a center for the New York Giants for 15 seasons. He was the inaugural recipient of what award?
If whoever gets it first in the comments, this is a good question. Go ahead.
Should it make it multiple choice? We're just gonna do
No. Let them look at it. Let them do their Google thing. They're on Google right now. I promise you. Yep.
Papa Romeo.
Melvin Hine was the inaugural recipient of this award. Played 15 seasons for the New York Giants. When we come back, we'll get the answer. Give us 5 minutes. Appreciate y'all watching. Shout out Papa Romeo, Carla. Thank y'all very much.